I'm Robert Green. I live in Las Cruces, New Mexico. My farm is called Casa Verde Farm. My farm is my retirement exercise program. I planted the orchard because I wanted to eat the fruit. It was not my intent in planting it to sell it. It turned out that way anyway.
Mr. Green has 9 kinds of apple trees.
I have Red Fuji, Granny Smith, Arkansas Black, Yellow Delicious, Gala, Winesap, Gravenstein, Newton Pippin, and Brayburn.
Different varieties of apples are good for different things, like Gravensteins, for instance.
These particular apples, when you cook them, absolutely fall apart. And they're tart and make wonderful applesauce.
Mr. Green uses this fruit picker to harvest his apples. For the ones that are really high up, he also gets on the ladder.
Well, we'll take a bite out of this delicious Gravenstein apple and see what it tastes like. Wow, that is really nice and tart. And it's actually really crunchy as well.
Here in the valley, when they look like that, they're completely ripe. Well, one of the ways that you can tell is when they start falling on the ground. The other way is you taste them. Raising apples here in the valley, frequently the color is not what you would see in the grocery store. They tend not to get as red.
To get the best apples, it's important to cut back some of the branches.
This one needs some work, but the idea of an apple tree is to have a central stem with limbs coming out about every 3 feet. The pruning is to match the amount of roots with the amount of top that has to be supported. You want to also get the limbs far enough apart so you have the proper sunlight to get to the fruit.
Once the fruits start to grow, you need to take some of them off the tree as well. This is what happens if you leave too many apples on the tree.
That's why the apples need to be thinned properly over the whole tree. This particular apple tree is called a Newton Pippin apple tree. And Thomas Jefferson alleged that the Newton Pippin apple was better than anything that Europe had to offer. But when they get ripe, they are not pretty, and so therefore they're hard to sell in the grocery store. But they make the best apple pie you'll ever get, and they stay firm when they're cooked. I think it's 2 years old, and within the next couple of years it ought to have at least 1 or 2 apples on it. This apple tree is a Red Fuji. The apples are green because they're not ripe. These are Gala apples. You see them at the grocery store quite frequently. The birds beat you to that one.
We hope you enjoy tasting your apples as much as I liked them here in Mr. Green's orchard.